Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to you who are tuning in live. And for those who are watching us later on, thank you so much for joining our show, Transformational Tech. And today we are going to do another bite-sized PD about one of our favorite things. Always, everything's our favorite thing, Ricardo. I realize I say that every time.
This is actually my new favorite thing.
This is for reals this time. Our favorite thing. And if you haven't met us before, my name is Teresa Magpayo Castro.
And I am Ricardo Recinos.
And we are both technology toasters from Hacienda La Puente Unified School District. And before we begin, we always want to thank our sponsors who are right here, CTA, as well as HLPTA, our district, of course, HPUSD, and the ILC, the reason why we get to do this training every week. So thank you so much for joining us. And for today's bite-sized PD, our new favorite, we are going to be going over Microsoft Edge, the browser you never knew you needed. So this is a timely episode, Ricardo.
Very timely. You look very sad, by the way. I'm sure you're going to explain why you look so sad over here, and I look so happy on this side. But yes, very timely.
You're saying goodbye to an old friend, so I was very sad about it. But we're getting ahead of ourselves as usual. Let's go ahead and get started. So our purpose today, always for our bite-sized PDs, is to dive deeper into our favorite tech tools. So we're going to spend this whole PD today just on this one tech tool, and that is Microsoft Edge. And here are 5 reasons to fall in love with Microsoft Edge. We're going to talk about Immersive Reader, PDF Reader, Web Capture and Annotate, Collections, Sidebar, and so much more. See that tiny print? There's even more after that.
And there's a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
We couldn't put it on.
There's definitely a lot more. So depending on what you want to see, we might even have to do a day 2 because we can't do justice in our little hour to Microsoft Edge. So our non-objective, as always, we don't expect you to throw out anything you've been doing, and please don't feel limited to what is shared today.
Yes, and obviously we know the big elephant in the room, right? Chrome. You are probably asking yourself, why are we even doing this episode, right? So let's go back in time. So there's a little history of browsers, and if you can go back and remember Netscape. Teresa, do you remember Netscape?
Oh, I'm too young for Netscape.
Opera. Oh my God, I remember Opera and Netscape. So let's kind of go back and see a little history how at one point our dear old friend Internet Explorer used to rule the world. But let's see what happened. So this is throughout the years, throughout the quarters. And notice how Internet Explorer was the leader and Netscape went down. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you see this little guy that comes out here and it's going to AOL had actually a browser. Did you know that? And look at who's coming in right now.
Firefox. Whoa. Our faithful friend, Google Chrome, whom we still love.
And look at what happened, right? And we all know this, right? And that gives you an idea. Yeah, about 70% of people out there use Chrome.
Yeah.
So,
and if you didn't know, Mr. Resenos, I also did a poll on our social media accounts. And between Chrome and Edge, most of the people still picked Chrome, but we actually had a lot more Edge users than I expected. So,
and could it be because people are misclassifying Edge as the old friend Internet Explorer? We're gonna find out today.
It could be.
Yeah. So today we're gonna kind of show you what this browser can do for you. But before we do that, right, Teresa? We wanted to make sure that to say bye to our old friend Internet Explorer. So if you didn't know, on Valentine's Day
last week,
Microsoft decided to say goodbye to our old friend, and the internet, especially Twitter world, was just out there making fun of our dear friend. I just wanted to kind of go over some of them. So I think on its last tweet by Internet Explorer was like, breaking news, Will Smith slaps Chris Rock at the Oscars. A little behind, wasn't it? Happened. I think it happened a year ago or something, right? And over here, we have Internet Explorer being taken. It's time to go, right? And dead is taken. Let's go. He says, Internet Explorer is not responding. One more right here, just so we can see it, right? People trying to load a website on Internet Explorer. Right?
Poor Internet Explorer. We loved it until we discovered something faster.
Yeah, all of the different browsers trying to go to lunch together, right? Let's go to lunch. And Internet Explorer just says hi. So he didn't even say hello over here. It took him forever to say hi. And finally, and I refuse to believe this, right? Clippy saying, welcome my child to Internet Explorer as it goes to heaven. But Clippy is back.
Oh no.
Not know that Clippy is back. Okay. So this song, goodbye, Explorer.
Farewell, Internet Explorer. We will
But
miss you.
that we welcome.
Microsoft Edge.
Right.
And why? Okay, go.
Edge is faster, and you can look it up. And Edge is more secure.
Is that a fact or your opinion, Mr. Lucinos?
It is a fact.
It is. It's true, everybody. Sorry. But it's the truth. But we're going to show you a lot more reasons today, too, why you would, not to say you would convert over from Google Chrome, but to say that this is also a browser that you can use, because we do know people who use both. So we'll see. At least give it a try.
And to put this episode together, we actually reached out to a lot of people out there, Mike being one of them, along with other people that really, really help us out. So we always like to say thank you to these people that are always kind enough to help us out with a lot of resources. But why would you want to make the switch, Teresa?
So we're just going to go through really quickly through our slides on some things that we're going to touch upon, and then we're actually going to take you in to Microsoft Edge so that you can actually see these at work. So our big one is Immersive Reader. We've done so many episodes and trainings on Immersive Reader, but now it is actually built in. You don't need an extension. It is right there for you, all the features and more inside of Edge. And we're going to show that to you.
Yeah, and if you don't know Immersive Reader, Teresa's going to actually demo it. This is so close to our heart when it comes to us being language learners. So it's just such a great tool.
Absolutely.
PDF reader. Yes. So, a lot of times, not just a PDF reader, but also the ability to actually fill out a PDF, right? Sometimes it's very difficult to actually fill out a PDF, and when we talk about Adobe and PDF, Edge makes it so easy to do.
And I think what, you might be like, well, I fill out fillable PDFs on Google Chrome, but the great thing about PDF Reader is that not only can you do fillable portions, you could actually do your signature, you could draw over it and save it and submit it. It's amazing. You don't need to go outside into Adobe to do it like what you would have to do with Google
You
Chrome.
can annotate. Yeah, you can do everything that you can do on basically Adobe. Yeah. Sidebar, if you have not seen the sidebar, it is a panel on the right side of Edge. We're going to show it to you where you can house shortcuts, websites, tools. There's games, there's discover tools, and so much more. You are going to love this feature.
I think it's just also visually very appealing because we know we usually have the toolbar or our bookmarks bar at the very top, but just having a lot of things on the side also just make things look a little bit more organized, in my opinion. So I'm excited to see what you have in store for us there. And web capture and annotate. And we know there are a lot of tools out there, snippet tools, where you can just snip whatever's on your computer and annotate on them. But there's a really cool shortcut in Microsoft Edge where you can capture not only what's on your screen, but you could scroll and capture more and annotate straight. It will show that to you. It's pretty unbelievable. And collections. So, I'm a lover of Pinterest, and it's just, to me, that's what I relate it to. So if I find some favorite web pages, pictures, some words and things like that I want to put into a collection of items, I could do that with what's called Edge Collections. So we're going to show you how to do that today too.
Yes, we are. So we're going to go ahead and actually go inside of Edge so we can show you how this works. Okay. So what we wanted to show you first is you're going to say, I put all of this work on Chrome. I added all of my favorites. I've added, extensions. I've added favorites and so on and so on. What we wanted to show you is that it's really easy to migrate from Chrome and bring it into Edge. Okay, so all you need to do, I'm already signed in, but if I went to the three dots or the ellipses over here, I can go in there, to my face right here, and I can say other profiles, and I can add a profile. Okay, and I can say add, and it's going to take you to the first window that you see when you first install or open Edge. For most computers that are Windows-based, Edge is already installed. And if you don't have it, you can just basically go and download it if you wanted to. But no, over here, notice this is welcome to Microsoft Edge, the best performing browser on Windows. And I can actually go say sync with data. Okay. And it's going to ask me what account I want to use. So I can just pick any of these accounts right here that I might want to use if I wanted to. So let's just use this one right here for today. Okay. And I'm just going to continue. And it's going to look and it's going to say, okay, what do you want it to look like? I love this. Okay, I can actually change the theme that I want to use, right? Okay. I can say put the website that I like in here, but right now I'm just gonna go finish, and that will automatically actually bring all of my favorites, my entire profile. Believe it or not, my extensions will come with it, and I'll be able to have everything that I had inside of Chrome. So very easy to bring that in if you wanted to. So I can import my favorites right here if I wanted to, and I'll be able to be right in there. Okay. Once it's set up, just so you know, okay, I'm just gonna show you settings really quick. I know I mentioned the being more secure. Where here it goes. Okay, tracking prevention. It has a basic. It has a balance, which is recommended, and it also has a strict one. Okay, which is pretty incredible. And I'll tell you how amazing it is that actually I can close this right now. Well, actually, before I do that, let me go over some of the other things that are here. So again, some of the stuff that you're familiar with in here. I know Teresa is going to go over some of the tools that you have, but as you go through here, I think we'll talk about it when we get to it. You can find all of your different options right here, okay? But what I wanted to say is that, let's say that I went into a different website right here, and I wanted to go, I don't know, let's say maybe I wanted to go into, maybe it would be ClassLink maybe? I'm trying to figure out a website that would let me, that will tell me that my password is compromised. And it doesn't allow because I have no passwords that are compromised, I think. So it will actually show it to me. I probably will do it later. So I probably didn't do it right now, but we're going to go ahead and start. So very easy to migrate from Chrome into Edge, right, Teresa? And I think now that we've done that, we're going to start with Immersive Reader, right?
Yes. Okay. So this is my screen right now, and we are now, I'm just on Aquarium of the Pacific. I always use this one because it's my favorite. So I'm down here. I'm looking at the new babies in the aquarium, and I'm just looking at this text. If you're not familiar with Immersive Reader, it is a tool to really help readers, but it also reads it to you. So instead of talking about it, let me go ahead and demonstrate it. All the way at the very top up here, we have an icon, Immersive Reader. So I could click on that, or I could just simply click F9 on my computer. All right. And so here we are. And at the top right, you can see you have some options here. So you have reading preferences. I'm going backwards, Mr. Rios, if you didn't notice. So you have line focus, for those students who might be need to kind of keep from the distractions. You could choose different types of line focus if you need to. You have your picture dictionary. You could translate the whole thing. I could choose Filipino right here, and I could translate the whole page. Give it a moment, and here we go. So now it's in my own language. That itself is amazing. But let me go ahead and put it back. What was it before, Mr. Racino? So is it English?
English. Mm-hmm.
There it is. I couldn't see it. All right. So here we are back on English, and I don't need to really translate. I could have just turned off translate. Okay. So we have our grammar tools here, different parts of speech, our syllables, our text preferences. We're not going to go through the whole thing. This is just, the size of your text, the spacing, different fonts you'd rather see, different themes if you'd like to choose a different color. And a great feature here is also read aloud. So if there are those of you like me who I do like to read, but I like to listen to a lot of things, like I'm busy doing something else and I just want to kind of hear what it's about, I could select read aloud. And in read aloud, I'm going to pause. Oops, I'm sorry. I can go up here to voice options. And right here, I can change the speed of the reading. And also I could choose different voices. And Mr. Rismus, I think I forgot to share sound.
I think so too. I wonder if we can bring that up.
Okay, let me see. So I can just select anything, English, Philippines, and then it would be reading it in that. Let me see if it's working.
I think it is. It's just you didn't share sound. You want to share sound?
Yeah,
really
sure.
Quick? That's fine. So, as we talk about immersive readers, some of you guys might not be familiar with it, but think about all of the building learning and accessibility tools that you're bringing in with Immersive Reader, right? It's facilitating reading comprehension, right? It's allowing you to do read aloud, right? Students can listen to a web page just like if it was a podcast, right? I know for me, I like to step away from the screen. So now this becomes something that is reading to me, right? It could help you improve reading comprehension, right? Hearing at your own pace and so on and so on.
It's not letting me change it, Mr. Racino, unless I stop sharing and putting it back. So do you want me to do that while you move on to something else and I can come back so that they can hear it?
I think they'll probably get the idea,
Unified.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it reads it
Mhm.
to you, and it just reads it to you in the different voices that you like. So different accents, also different tones, and something you just might prefer as you listen to something that you see online. It's as simple as that. Sorry, I didn't get to demonstrate that, but let's go ahead and move on to what's next.
Yes, so I'm going to share my screen, and I know we were talking about a PDF, right? So how sometimes how difficult it is to fill out a PDF. So I actually have a PDF that I'm going to open, and the beauty of it is that I would just go to the PDF if I wanted to, and I will just right click it, it's say my desktop, and I will say open with Edge. Okay, and I'm not showing you that right now, but you will basically say open with Edge. And when you do that, you're going to notice that it's going to open that page. Okay, but in addition to opening that page, notice that under my favorites, again, you notice all of these favorites came from Chrome. Everything that I had on Chrome, it's here. My extensions are there, everything is there. But notice that in the bottom, I have all these tools right here. Okay, so amazing. You can have a PDF and have it read out loud to you if you wanted to. So I can come in here and have it read out loud if I wanted to.
Can you demo it? So since I didn't get to demo the voice.
Yeah, and I think just like you, I also didn't share some, but you know what? I can do it really quick. Can I do that if you give me a second? That's a good idea, actually. So let's do it.
Oh, you started. I could have done that. Sorry, everybody. We just really wanted you to hear it because it's, we talk about it, but.
So here it is. So hopefully it is, it says that it's sharing sound, but I don't see it right now, but it will be able to play right here. You can hear it, can you?
It's okay. Let's move on.
Okay, so yeah, that ability to basically do that with the voice options that we talked about, right? But the ability to come here and add text, I can just click over here and I'll come in here. And by doing that, I can just go ahead and add text if I wanted to.
And this is not even a fillable document. This is just a plain PDF.
I can change the color. I can make the font bigger, so on and so on, right? Or I can get rid of it, right? The ability for me to come in here and draw, okay, my favorite restaurant. If I wanted to draw a picture of that, I would be able to do that, right? I could actually highlight for fast food because all fast food restaurants are my favorite restaurants. So that would be my highlighter right there. If I wanted to erase something, I could, right? So I probably will get rid of places to shop, right? I wouldn't want my wife and my daughter to see that question in here. So I could do that. But now that I've actually filled out that PDF, I have the ability to print it, okay? Ability to save it somewhere, right? And it's just such a great tool. The ability to just use a PDF, not just a reader, but also a PDF to be able to fill it out inside of Edge. Just such a great tool.
So everybody, this tool is the reason why I moved over to Microsoft Edge that very day, because we had to fill out some timesheets of some sort, and I didn't want to open up my Adobe Reader and I know the actual full version so I could actually edit it. I actually just went here and I was like, oh, that was so much easier. Anyway, so that was the day we started.
Yeah, for me, it was Immersive Reader. Just such a great tool to have. Yeah. The next tool that we want to show you inside of Edge is the sidebar, which to me is just an incredible tool. Again, it's this little panel right here that you can see on the side, okay, that allows you to basically house all of the shortcuts, tools, websites, and so on and so on. And you can customize this, okay, if you wanted to, okay? So notice that over here, I have the ability to search automatically on my sidebar. I have the ability to discover. Okay, and this will basically discover based on what I surf or where I go, websites and so on and so on. It will actually provide interesting things to me. I have a tool option that I added to my sidebar that basically gives me a calculator. It gives me a unit converter. It gives me a translator, the ability to just have it right here. So I'm looking at something on the side and I want to translate. I can just copy and paste it in here and be able to translate it if I wanted, okay? The ability to have a dictionary in here, a world clock, and they keep adding more and more tools. So just so amazing, right? To have this on the sidebar, right?
Yeah.
I don't need to go into another tab and go into my Office 365. I can click on my sidebar and I have the ability to see all of my Word documents if I wanted to, Excel, PowerPoint, everything that I access is in here on the sidebar. So I can be looking at something on this side, on the left side, on my Edge. Let me just switch it so you can actually see it. So I could be over here, reading about, I don't want to read about LAFC. I want to read about Galaxy. But I could be in here and maybe I'm going to email someone, oh, you know what? I can't make it to this game. You want my tickets, right? I can come and I have the ability to go to Outlook straight from the sidebar. Okay, I'm able to do it right through there, okay? Notice that I've added Spotify to my sidebar. I can come and play my music directly from right here if I wanted to. I've also added Amazon Music and you have the ability to add more tools. You can customize the sidebar by clicking here And I noticed that I can add a current page. If I wanted to add this current page that I always use to my sidebar, I could do that. I can have other options like YouTube could always be available. So if I add YouTube, notice that it's right here now. Okay. If I wanted to be able to see my Gmail from there, I can add it and be right there. Or my Instagram or my Twitter. It's everything could be added to the sidebar if I wanted to. Okay. If I don't want to have the search button showing, I can make it go away. Or discover. I usually don't use it. Shopping, coupons. Teresa really wanted me to show you this. Okay.
Yes.
If I'm on a website, I can actually go in there and actually go to coupons and savings, and you can actually get that right on the spot. Okay, so it's pretty amazing to see that
So if
right
you're
there.
shopping for something and you click on that icon, it shows you coupons that exist for that item. People.
Games, if you wanted to, you have a second and you want to play some games, you can have that on there. My Microsoft 365 is already there, and my Outlook, plus anything else that I've added, right? So just pretty amazing to be able to add all of that on your sidebar, okay? I can also hide the sidebar by clicking this button right here. I will just click it, and notice how it went away. So if you don't want to see it, you can make it go away. But if you want to bring it back, the easiest way to do it is Control-Shift/. So /. So if I go Control-Shift/, notice my sidebar came back over here, okay? And finally, on the bottom, I have settings, where I can go in there and I can customize anything that I want. It's basically what I went through a second ago, okay? So it's a pretty amazing tool to have. It's just incredible, okay? That's the sidebar. If I can, before you move on to the next part, Teresa, I did want to mention that, notice how I've opened so many tabs, and this is actually real life for me. I usually have like 20 tabs open, right? And sometimes I can even see what's there, okay? Notice this is something that you can do on Edge. I can come to the left side, I can click on action menu, and I can say, turn on vertical tabs. And look what happened. Now my tabs are over here for me to see. I can hide them, right? And they're all right here. You see that? So my tabs are now over here. I can create collections. If I want to grab one and put it together, I will create collections. I'm able to move them around and so on and so on. So the ability to be able to go from, the horizontal tabs that you have to the vertical tabs that you might have, okay? Such a great tool. Let's say that maybe you were on YouTube and you were playing a video. So notice I was playing, right? And you can probably not able to hear it right now. But if I was working somewhere else and I'm like, you know what? I want to turn the volume down on that. See this little microphone over here? I can just click it and turn the volume off for what I was playing in the background. You can do this in Chrome, but it takes about 3 or 4 steps to get to do what I just did right now. Just amazing tools right there, right?
Yes, I love it. All right, what's next?
I think we're going to web capture and annotate.
All right, so here I am on Aquarium of the Pacific again. So I'm going to do a capture, so a screen capture. And I know there are a lot of shortcuts. You can also use your snippet tool to just capture what's on the screen. But the thing that sold me on this is that I could actually capture what's on the screen and scroll so that I could capture more. And then after that, I could still annotate. So let me go ahead and show you. I just use I use Control-Shift-S. Okay, Control-Shift-S. So here I am on this web page, Control-Shift-S. And here we are. I could capture the full page and click that if I want, but I want to capture a certain area. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight this and watch what happens when I go down. Oops, hold on. I probably need to accept cookies first. Please hold. Okay, Control-Shift-S. Here we go. Oh, I'm not at the bottom of the page already. There you go. So see how I'm going down? Oh, it's only getting a portion of it. Okay. Anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and continue and do this. So I captured it. And at the bottom, you have copy, markup capture, or visual search. So if I did it correctly, it would have gotten more. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to continue. I could do a visual search and actually search for things that are in this section. But that's not what I'm talking about now. I'm talking about markup. So I'm going to click markup. And now I can just continue. I can draw on it. This is very familiar. This is like the snippet over there. And then I can share it. I can copy it. Or I can save it and I can erase as well. Okay, so lots of other options. That was really, really easy. Okay. All right. Mr. Sims, can I move on to the next one? Or did you want me to try that again? He's muted. I don't hear him.
It's up to you. Right now that you're on this website, another tool that I love is maybe this is a website that I always use and I want to have easy access for maybe I'm presenting something and I want people to see it. By just basically right-clicking on that website, I have the ability to create a QR code. If you notice, there's the ability to create a QR code for that website. It's in there somewhere.
Here where it says create QR code?
and just go ahead and click on it. And amazing to be able to just let everybody go to that website by just creating a QR code. Pretty amazing, right?
I love it. I'm so tempted to try it again, but I won't because that's not the stick. We need to move on. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next thing. And I think the next thing, Ricardo, if I'm not mistaken, please correct me, is collections. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
All right, so like I said, collections is kind of, to me, similar to Pinterest. I don't know how else you would put it, Ricardo. But at the very top up here, there's this little icon that says collections. So I'm going to click on that. There are lots of ways you can start collections. You can start them from the page you're on, or you can simply go to this icon, click on it, and you can just start new collections from here. So you could start a new collection, and then we'll ask you, like, for example, I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to call it, I don't know, party. All right. And then I can add current page if I want to. That's not really should be in party, but even though I want to party at the aquarium, that's not what it means. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move on. So you can see I have different collections here. So I have one that's called C. And you could see all the things that I've collected so far. And we just want to show you an easy way. If you didn't notice, so I clicked on it and then I clicked on the pin. I pinned it so that it's right here. So I could drag things over. So for example, let's say a picture. Well, if it's a picture without a copyright, I can drag it over. So let me see. Let me go ahead and pick a picture, any picture, drag it over, cross my fingers that there's no copyright over it, hover over C, and there it says added. So when I click on it, that will be in there. That's pretty awesome. So I can just grab pictures and put them in there. And also, I can also go to text. So for example, this text, let's try this, and I could drag it over. And then that was also added. So anything that I find, so let's say I'm doing a research report of some sort, I could just keep adding them and it will all show up in those collections. And the great thing about the collections is when I click on them, I could also, you could see all the things that I just added right now.
So it could be websites, pictures, text,
website,
amazing.
Exactly. So I can also click and I could also write notes. This is a note. I could write notes here. So maybe my teacher told me something and that I want to remember, like, oh, make sure to mention this, I write myself a note and that's in there as well. I can just go to the websites. Oops. And I could just drag that over and that'll be in there as well. Okay. So very, very easy to make these collections, which for me is like Pinterest. So I love it. And so it's so easy just to add anything I want right there without having to go to another web page. So is there anything that I missed? Oh, I'm sorry. Just to show you, you could also do what I just did by instead of dragging, you can also right click. So you could right click on items and you can add to collection and then add it that way. If you prefer to do that, if for some reason your drag is not working, because we have heard some people say, oh, my drag's not working. So you could also right click and do the exact same thing I did with words, with pictures, and add them to your collections. And you could select which one you want to add it to. Oh, one more, Ricardo. Sorry. At the very top, if I right click on the tab, it shows right here, I could add all tabs to collection. So let's say I was researching the sea, aquarium, whatever, and I had like 10 tabs open, like Ricardo, maybe 20 tabs, and all of those related to the same topic. I could add all those tabs at once into the collection of my choice. So that's kind of a great shortcut as well. All right.
Teresa, could you show, before we move on to the next part, how there's maybe I go to Canvas all the time, or maybe you go to a particular website, how you can actually pin a website to the taskbar at the bottom so you always have access to it?
Sure. All right. So let's say I'm on, can I just use this one right here since I'm
sure.
On?
Yeah.
Right. So since I love the aquarium, I'm going to go ahead from here. I'm going to go to the 3 dots over here. And then I'm going to scroll down to more tools. And from more tools, I can pin to start, or I can also pin to taskbar. Oh, which I've already done.
You already did it, right? Oh, yeah, that's right.
I love it so much. Okay. Let me click on another website. Plan your visit to the aquarium. Oh, yeah. There you go. We're going to plan our visit, Ms. Ricinos. We're going to the aquarium. Tell your daughter. All right. So the 3 dots, more tools, and then I could pin it to my taskbar. And where'd it go? And there it is right there. There it is right there. Ta-da!
Amazing. That is so cool. I know I will use that all the time.
Yes. All right. That was it.
Perfect. So I'm getting I can hear myself, but it's probably because we're sharing sound, and I'm trying to see if I can get rid of it. Teresa's really good about remembering commands like shift control this and shift control. I'm really bad at that. So I just have to mention that, like that amazing web capture tool that she used on Edge, that is so incredible. If you went to the ellipsis and you went to settings, and you actually go to appearance, like I showed you before, you can change the way it looks, right? You also have the ability in here to turn some of those tools on. So notice that for me, I actually have my math solver turned on, and I'm going to show you that in a second. I also have the web capture turned on, citation button, the ability to pick something as you're doing research and automatically have it cited for you. It's pretty incredible if I wanted to turn that on right here. But again, so Teresa was using the web capture one, right? So notice that I have it turned on. So for me, it will be right up here, and I can just click on it, and I have the same option without having to remember, because I am horrible with all of those commands that you have to remember, okay? You notice that I turned on the math one on too. It's called Math Solver. I have to show it to you. I'm just gonna click on it. Think about supporting our students, okay? I'm going to learn to solve math problems and learn, not get the answers, but learn, okay? Next, right, learn how to solve them, work simple problems, right? So what you would do, notice that you would just grab, so let me select the math problem right here. Notice that I can come in here, and I'm gonna kind of just select this right here. Okay? And once I solve, and notice what's going to happen. It's actually going to take that, and it should solve it over here, hopefully. In a second, did I do it? So I grab it like I showed you right here, and I should be able to solve it. And I'm not sure why I'm not sure why I didn't do it. Let's try it again. So here we go. So let me select the math problem. Maybe I didn't grab it right, Teresa, when I did it. But you should be able to just select it. Maybe because I'm picking up other stuff in there, right? And be able to click solve, and it should solve it for you. And it should be working, but it didn't work for me right now. So
try
that's
it. Well, I figured out how to do the scrolling thing. I mean, it stopped working, but it just worked again right now.
Yeah, and you also have the ability to type math problems too. So I'll try it right now. If you want to go back to yours, Teresa, go ahead, and I'll try it again.
Sure, everyone, just a quick commercial, because I was like, I'm going to make it work. Anyway, so here I am again, Control-Shift-S. So here we are again, capture area. If it doesn't work now, I'm just going to laugh. So look, so I'm scrolling and I'm still capturing. That's what I was trying to show you, that other snipping tools don't allow you to do. So I can let go, I can mark up, and you can see now this whole thing is what was captured in my snippet, or in my little snip right here. So now I can draw whatever I want. But see, that's what made it different for me, which I've loved. It didn't work for a moment, but it always worked for me. So here it is. Okay, sorry, Mr. Racines, you can go back now.
I just wanted to make sure that they knew how to use the solve math problem, and for whatever reason, it's not working for them. But it's a great tool to have in there. Okay, so just an amazing tool. So those are just some of the options that I think make Edge incredible. You had other options in here that you might be able to use too that we haven't even talked about. I think it's about cite this, right? I said that math solver is in there, and there's other tools in there. But Edge is always improving.
Yes,
Edge is always getting better. And last week, Microsoft announced that they were actually going to invest in ChatGPT. If you haven't heard about ChatGPT, and basically they have actually brought in ChatGPT inside of their Bing search, but also into Edge. So this is a preview right now. Let me see if I can share my screen. And I think, am I sharing my screen right now, Teresa? Sharing another screen.
Yes, you are. Yes, you're sharing your screen.
Let me do it again. I'm not sure why it wasn't. Let me share again. Is that your screen or my screen?
That is your screen.
I don't even have sharing. Yeah. So let me go back. For whatever reason, it's not sharing the one that I want to share. Though it's really weird. Sure. So here it goes. So notice that this is the way my Edge with Bing looks like. Okay. So the old Bing is still here. Okay. But if I come in here, and how do you know if you have the new one or not? You have the ability to click on chat right here. And if I click on it, if you have experienced ChatGPT, you are probably familiar with this look. Welcome to the new Bing. Okay. And now I can ask complex questions. I can get better answers and get creative inspiration. What I love about Bing, the new Bing, that it is based on ChatGPT, but it's better. It's called the Prometheus model, and it's integrating OpenAI to give you a ChatGPT type of experience. But the difference between ChatGPT and this is actually is plugged into the internet. So it actually has the ability to see recent information and things that are going on right now, which
Oh my
ChatGPT cannot
goodness.
do, right? So you have the ability to do that, okay? So I could come in here and ask a question if I wanted to, but notice that I also have it available right up here, okay? So if I go in here and I click on it, notice that I have the ability to chat, okay? So I can ask anything, okay? If I wanted to say, I don't know, how do I make chocolate chip cookies?
Ooh.
Right? So if I wanted to ask that question, that's Prometheus or Bing, and notice that it's going to look at it. It's going to say how to make chocolate chip cookies, and it's actually going to give me an answer right now on how to do it. Okay, so let's give it a second. Here, I can help you with this. Okay, there's many ways of doing it, right? But here's basic steps, and notice that it's giving me step by step on how to make it. So just a great tool to have. So the ability to use something like ChatGPT inside of Bing is there, okay? And it says, you want more relevant responses? You want me to show you a video, right? And so on and so on, so we can do that. This right here is probably my favorite, Teresa. I have the ability to compose something, okay? So maybe I want to compose,
There we go.
write an email to my boss explaining why I can't go to work tomorrow. Use a joke. Okay. And I have the ability to say my tone could be professional, casual, enthusiastic, informal, and funny. So let's go ahead and say funny today. I can have a paragraph, email. So we're doing an email right now, right? And then I can make it short, medium, or long. So let's go ahead and generate that. So that's what's going to happen. So I asked her to write an email to my boss telling her that I can't go to work tomorrow. So it's actually going to think about it. It's going to look into what's going to write, and it's going to give us an answer right now. Here, hi boss, I'm really sorry to say this, but I won't be able to come to work tomorrow. I have a very good reason for this. You see, I was on the way home today when I saw a deer crossing the road. I stopped. And it was just going on, and it was able to write that. I would never do that, but just giving you an idea. And it created this whole thing. So think about how you could use this, okay? Think about writing tweets, writing Instagram posts,
Yes,
right? Writing emails, right? Just so much. But to show you how amazing it is. Okay, so I'm going to go to, this is our YouTube channel for Hacienda La Puente. And maybe I could come in here and say, what is the most watched video on this channel? It's actually going to look at it, and it's going to look at every video that was ever created on this channel, and it's gonna do the work for me. So it's gonna say, you know what, the most watched video on this channel, it's right here.
That's so cool.
Okay, to me, this is amazing right now, and it's gonna give me the channel, whatever it is. Maybe I can go to this article right here. Okay, right here. And I can say, you know what? I don't have time to read it, but summarize article.
Summarize article. Oh, no.
So it's actually going to look at this Los Angeles Times article that I'm looking at right now. It's going to actually summarize article. Let's look at that right now. And it's going to actually go ahead and read it. And it's going to summarize it. Hey, I can help you summarize
like
it.
That old TLDR, right?
Yeah, right. So notice what it did right now is summarize. So all of the power that you have with ChatGPT and Prometheus model inside of here, it's incredible right here. Also, it has insights in here. So I wanted to give you a small taste, because we can spend hours talking about the new Bing, but we want to make sure that you have access to it before we actually go into it and give you more information about it. But I think those were just some of our favorite tools in the new Edge that I think might make you think about, maybe, you know, I want to make the switch, or maybe not the switch, but I want to give it a chance and try it, right?
Give it a chance. Give it a chance, everybody. But yes, we have heard these amazing tools, and we hope that you give it a chance and that you try these tools to see how they work for you. And we hope you enjoyed our short, sweet, bite-sized PD on Microsoft Edge. And we have a feeling we're probably going to need another episode 2 for this one, because there's so much more to share, depending on our viewers. So thank you so much, everybody. And we hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you again in a few weeks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.